Welcome to another episode of Real Talk No Filtre with Chainsaw Phoenix. Today I'll be talking to a Malaysia princess, I'll say, named Tia. She's an artist, a gardener, and there's so much more to her life. Her life story, I believe, will capture a lot of viewers' hearts, minds, and soul. Therefore, it will be an inspirational piece. And this is why I would like to broadcast her and bring her onto my show. So Tia, tell me about yourself.
Hello, David. Thank you so much for this platform and opportunity. I'm very, very honored for the invitation. So I am Satya, but I go by the name Tia. That's a reason why too, which we will discuss later. And I was born in Labuan, Sabah, Malaysia, which is the East Malaysia part. But when I was about 2 years old, my dad being in the army, he was posted to West Malaysia. So I grew up 18 years of my life in Kuala Lumpur, the capital city of Malaysia. And I was born on the 17th of November, 1969. So I'm reaching the golden path in my life now, which because I'm 50, I'll be 52 in November. And life has taken its ups and downs with me, but despite the obstacles I've had to go through in life, I've always looked for the brighter light that shines right in front of me, and I reach towards that light because when my grandpa died when I was 14, he left me with one quote that stuck with me like glue. It's today's impossible dream are tomorrow's reachable star. And he said, "You're a smart girl, keep reaching for the highest." And I think that's what I've been living with all my life, always trying to reach for the highest star regardless what events may have folded in my life.
That's really interesting. I know a lot of people have, especially when it passed down from parents, grandparents, uncles and aunts, they really do have a motto which we actually keep within ourselves that actually takes us through the hardships and also takes us through life unexpected turns.
Yeah.
So let's talk about your artwork.
Right. Art was something I was never in love with in school. I actually hated art. I failed art even for my exam.
Oh,
But
yeah, me too as well. Like I literally in grade 8, I failed art. I failed at making a collage. I have no clue how I failed at making a collage. I ended up with a 32% in art class in grade 8. I suck at it.
yeah, I literally failed art in school, and I kind of never liked art because I was always made to, I was always like pinpointed. I wouldn't call it bully, but I was always like the target. So it made me want to just disappear from art classes and go into the library and finish up my homework or something. So I never really enjoyed art class. But however, in 2007, I was involved in an accident that damaged my skull. And I got into photography in 2009 because a friend gave me a secondhand camera, and being very subjected and enclosed at home because I was afraid of what people will say about my scars, because my scars were pretty bad. Even many times I would look into the mirror and I would think I was like a monster, but that's another part for an accident. That's another long story. But back to my art. So what happened was in 2012, I woke up one day and my daughter captured this on her mobile phone, and she took a video of how I was sleepwalking, and I was just like digging out my containers, and I actually started painting. Right? I started painting, and during that time, I was actually singing a song in Italian, which a language I have no clue about. I don't know Italian, and I was talking in Chinese, another language I'm clueless about. So it was clearly that I was in a different realm. I was in a different universe, and I was just a different person. So art came into me like a gift. And I think when you have an accident that has damaged your skull, right? And when you've got nothing else to do and you can't fall back on the career path you've chosen, right? new windows and opportunities open, because the universe has got a purpose for me, and its purpose was for me to reach out and inspire people, right? So it was through my art, because with my art, I started writing stories. So each of my art piece actually has a story from darkness into the light. So it's always an inspiring journey. When you read my piece, you find all the heartaches and the misery and the pain, but it always ends with a positive light. Because why? My grandpa said, today's impossible dreams, tomorrow's reachable star. So regardless how hard the journey is, there is always, a rainbow and a pot of gold for you to reach. So I think that's how art came into my life. And what happened was, when I was doing that particular piece, my daughter recorded it, and she kind of submitted that piece to Fine Art America. And surprisingly, my art piece was selected as the best abstract art piece that was submitted online. And that gave me a new hope, that gave me new confidence. And I'm like, okay, I can do art. So I started splashing art like Jackson Pollock. So my artwork is similar to Jackson Pollock's work. In fact, I've got a series almost like Jackson Pollock. That artwork is not here, sadly, but I can share a picture with you later. And the funny part is, because I vision things in my dream, like, like I get premonitions of things. That's something I've been gifted with. I dream about things, yeah. So I did an art piece, and I started splashing paint all over. And when I finished that piece, what I titled it was Shimmering Substance. And I had no clue about who Jackson Pollock was, or neither did I know that he had a series also titled Shimmering Substance. So once I finished that piece, I used to be very active on a platform called Google Plus, which has shut down, I think, back in 2016 or 17, right? So Google Plus no longer exists, but that was an amazing platform for me, because I met so many art collectors, so many artists, and I used to belong to so many art groups, and I used to share my work. And there's this amazing lady called Barbara Minesco from Ohio. She bought 6 of my pieces. So that again is how my private art gallery started, because I had money to invest, right? And one guy from, I don't remember his name, but he was from the Google platform. And he goes, "You've nailed it." I say, "What did I nail?" "You've nailed the Jackson Pollock series." And I'm like, okay, who's Jackson Pollock? So I did my Google search, Wikipedia, who Jackson Pollock was. And when I compared my artwork and his, it's so similar, just the colors a little bit different. And surprisingly, his artwork was also titled Shimmering Substance.
Oh, wow.
So I felt maybe Jackson Pollock's spirit came into me that particular day when I did that piece. And I've got another piece also titled Jackson Pollock. See, I've got 2 series of his, so it was amazing. And that's when I realized my artwork is different, it's unique, and it has got something to help people move on with their life. So I started terming myself the abstract mixed media energy healing artist. Why? Because my art pieces were not only therapeutic and healing me, but it was also inspiring other people. Because my work was different, because I dance and paint. I do it with music, so that's where the energy comes in. So it's with a flow of movements, right? Actually, it's like when I am dancing, I'm like splashing the art with movements, so I'm like in motion. So that's how I tell myself the healing energy story artist.
Do you have like a website or
the website? I've got some pieces where I've done in some events where I am painting and dancing. They're short videos because I share them on my story. So it's just like 20 seconds, which I can also share with you later.
Oh, sounds good.
So, Yeah, so in 2018, this is like one of the highlight of my art journey. In 2015, I had my first solo art exhibition, and my art gallery is called Metamorphosis Art Gallery. Metamorphosis because from the accident, my daughter wrote me a beautiful poem, which I will read to you in a short while. It is from a caterpillar emerging into a beautiful butterfly. And she was 5 years old when she wrote me this poem. I mean, I was going through my skull surgery, my fifth skull surgery. When I came out of my surgery, she goes, "Mom, I got something for you." And as soon as I recovered from my surgery, uh, my mom read it out because she was very good with words. She was 5, but she was an intelligent girl. So she told her grandma what she wanted to share with me. So my mom wrote it down on her behalf. And my mom helped me read it, right? And it was such a beautiful poem. And that's how I realized, because her last word was, "Mom, you are like an ugly caterpillar emerging into a beautiful butterfly." Okay, here is a poem my princess wrote for me after my fifth skull surgery. I was so impressed. This is why butterflies are symbolic to me, as I mentioned earlier. After each skull surgery, I went through 6 surgeries. My princess Bianca Esperanza said this to me: "I am an ugly caterpillar transformed into a beautiful butterfly." Enjoy her poem. She was 6 years old, and this was written for me on the 4th of October 2007. "You must be the girl of my dreams. Well, let's get it on. Your eyes glow like fire. Your heart beats like a crystal and a precious emerald. Hugging together, the whole of you looks like a caterpillar transforming into a beautiful butterfly. Mom, you are so beautiful." She was 5 and a half when she wrote this for me.